Hey there, y'all. This is Joseph. I'm based out of Cedar Park, Texas. I am 29 years old, and this is Financial Audit.
29 years old. What do you do here in Austin, Texas for a living?
Currently, I am working as basically a handyman. I kind of jack of all trades through TaskRabbit. Just started that recently.
So side hustling around.
Yeah, that and DoorDash pretty much. Yeah.
DoorDash. Okay, so how has that all been for you?
So again, this is all very recent, within less than the last month.
DoorDash too?
Yeah, I was previously working for Chick-fil-A just to try and get back on my feet. But that 15 an hour was not cutting it. DoorDash full-time was making more money than that. So did that while doing some, just helping friends out that would pay me here and there. So I found out about TaskRabbit, signed up for that. And in the last 2 weeks, I've made roughly $1,000 compared to what else.
$1,000 in 2 weeks, though?
Not much, I know, but that's also just starting out. The more you get, the more reviews you get, the more jobs you'll have coming in.
How many hours were you working at Chick-fil-A? 15?
I was making 40 hours a week. When I first started, I would be doing as much overtime as possible, but that was just killing me, and and so I ended up going back to just 40 hours. But again, that was not nearly enough to get myself out of my current situation.
$31,200 a year. That would be hard to live in Austin. What is your current situation?
So I am currently homeless as of October of last year.
What happened in October?
So in October, I had a couple things happened. First, my drone business I was running ended up having to shutter that as the drone malfunctioned, and unfortunately, because of the last 3 years since I've been here, it's all been a slow fall down.
How so?
So again, I guess let me start from the top.
Sir.
No worries. So I moved out here with $30,000 in savings.
From where?
From California.
How long ago?
One of those. So this was October of 2020. So almost 3 years now. So moved out here with $30,000 in savings, with plans to put a down payment on a house and all that. Unfortunately, my job transfer from my old place of work, Spectrum, didn't end up working out. And so, but I was 26 at the time, still living with my parents. And I was like, I've got this money now. If I don't ever do this, I'm never going to do it. I'm going to be stuck at home. Like, my uncle, love him, bless his heart. He's in his 50s and he still lives with my grandparents.
Really?
Yeah. He has a good job. He's a driver for Universal, makes good money, but I didn't want to be that.
Sure.
So I was like, it doesn't matter if I'm not going to have a job when I get there. I've got this money now. Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, so this was obviously the middle of COVID. I thought, okay, all these places are saying they're hiring. Should be no problem for me to get a job. So move out here and just applying. Don't hear back from anything except for one place. They call me back. We do interviews. I do interviews with the regional management, and they said they loved me and all that. But then I don't hear back from them again. So I'm like, at this point, it's 3 months in, and I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to be able to find work, I need to make work for myself. I've got this money. I can invest in myself.
Before we get into that, do you have a degree?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have any college?
No, just high school graduate.
Okay. Yep. And you had work experience on a resume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been working since 18. So
in that time that you moved here, man, we were in the workers' economy of the workers' economy. Mm-hmm. Like anyone could just get it. It was a little harder in the October. I think things were pretty much open around here. Service may have been a little more difficult, but
no, I was applying to big chains like Walmart and stuff. I was applying to fast food restaurants. I was applying everywhere, and I didn't even hear anything back, let alone from that. That one job was Home Depot that I had heard and done those interviews.
It may have been a little too early before everything just started going wild in the job because, I'm having trouble remembering the timeline for all that. But sorry, go ahead, continue. So you started to invest in yourself.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what is a business that I can invest in now that I know will have good returns? And I remembered several years back, someone had mentioned I should get into drone work, and that it was going to blow up and all that. And I kind of just ignored it back then, but I'm like, okay, let me look into it now. And I saw the earning potential for it. I saw how easy it was to get into it. Mm-hmm. So over the weekend, I studied for the test, aced it like the next day when on Monday after that weekend that I had scheduled it for. Unfortunately, the FAA gave me the runaround for like 5 months before I could finally get my license. So I ended up getting that and started doing drone work. And I was making...
What's drone work? What even is drone work?
So in drone work, there's several different things you can do with that. What I was doing in particular was I was basically photography and mapping for commercial real estate. So I would do roof inspections. I would do facade inspections, so the walls of the buildings. And mapping out their properties.
Oh, very cool.
And so I was doing that through a company that was previously drone-based, now SiteView. And I was getting a good amount of contracts. And again, I was making $100 to $150 an hour, depending on the contracts.
Sick.
And so me coming from a poor background, growing up in the ghetto of California, and just working my butt off since 18, I was like, okay, I'm making good money now. I've found something that I think is going to be my thing. I was like, I've also got my savings still. I had gone through most of it because I had been like 8 months at that point. But I was like, let me take it a little easy. And I was just doing like 10 hours of work a week. So 1,000 a week, not bad compared to most people.
Yeah.
But that didn't leave me room to save much. I was
not even saving much, but how'd the 30,000 hours get drained?
That's the thing. I should have kept better track of that. I know a lot of it was in that time that I was just trying to figure stuff out. I should have been cooking more. But I was mainly just going out, getting fast food, getting delivery. I think that's where most of it went, honestly.
So we fast forward to October of last year.
After the first couple months of the drone work, it ended up dying out for 6 months. Just out of nowhere, just wasn't getting any contracts in.
Okay.
So the Home Depot job that I had gotten several interviews for at around the same time that I started the drone work, they finally called me back. They're like, oh, sorry, the hiring process got frozen because of COVID, and now we're ready, and we really liked you. And they had led me to believe that I was going to be making about 18 an hour. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the way it actually worked was it was like a per job structure because I wasn't working in a store. I was working as a floor measurement tech.
Okay.
And they said, oh, yeah, you get $18 per job. Most technicians do like 8 to 10 jobs a day. So come to find out, of the people of my hiring group, I was getting up to speed the fastest. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still struggling to do like 6 to 7 a day, though. So at what point do I hit that 8 to 10 mark y'all told me about? Come to find out, a few months later, like senior technicians that have been doing it for a while were also completing about the same amount as me. I'm like, okay, so I'm making more like, depending on the day, 12 to 15 an hour. So, but I had to live off of that for those months while the drone business was...
Which was still money, but you were overspending, just not budgeting?
At that point, I was just paying rent at that point.
What was your rent?
Rent at the time was $1,400 a month. I ended up moving out of that. Yeah. Ended up moving out of that place to like just a one room for $1,000 a month. Even that, I was still struggling.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point where I was like, okay, I've used my savings to cover when I couldn't cover rent with just what my income was. And at that point, I was completely out of savings. This is like, 2 years in now? This is like going back towards October, a little closer to that. And I was like, okay, this isn't working. I need to find something else. Ended up getting a Amazon delivery driver job that was paying just shy of $20 an hour. Mm-hmm. And it was an actual hourly basis.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so I got with so it's third-party companies that do the delivery driving. And I got with one of the companies that they pay the best, they treat their workers the best, but unfortunately, they also have the most rigorous standards. And after 30 days of full rides or full routes, I wasn't able to meet their standards. Whereas I actually had a buddy who worked for another company. He said theirs was like 130 packages a day. The company I was with was 230 a day. And I could not get up to that.
So go work with your friends. I want to take a moment to thank today's episode sponsor, SoFi. SoFi is a mobile-first personal finance company that helps their members bank, borrow, and invest all in one app. And the product we're going to be talking about today is a product that many people have taken advantage on the show and one that I've recommended. Essentially, refinancing private student loans. We know private student loans can have insane death interest rates. And one way to tackle those interest rates is consolidation and refinancing. This is something I like to do from a mathematical point of view when you can bring your interest rates down. But let me be very clear. Just because you refinance student loans doesn't mean you should let your foot off the gas. We still want to pay them down as soon as possible, but this helps the mathematical side. And if it can save you thousands and thousands of dollars in the long run, it is totally worth it, and that's why I like it. And if you're worried about things going wrong, SoFi does have an unemployment protection plan for student loans that are in good standing. So this can help people take hold of their student loans, get those rates lower, and possibly get their monthly payments lower as well. So this could be a step towards financial freedom. Check out SoFi.com/Caleb, or check out the link at the top of the description below.
Yeah, well, by then I had lost that job, and I was... goodness, I'm trying to think. So August, there was going to be a change up with the property manager at the place that I was staying. And basically they were like, hey, we're going to need you to move out after September. And at first I was like, okay, I'm making good money with the Amazon job. Shouldn't be an issue. I can find a monthly Airbnb for like $900. That wouldn't be too bad while I wait. Unfortunately, lose the job, and I'm like, okay, now I'm not even going to be able to get into the monthly Airbnb.
Did you apply for unemployment?
No, I did not.
Why? You were paying taxes into it while you were working.
Honestly, that's the thing. I was just in survival mode, trying to think, how am I going to get income? Where am I going to?
Well, that would have been
that
like the immediate source of right after getting let go. Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so October to now, it's been like 10 months.
Yeah.
What have we been doing for 10 months to try to get ourselves back? We started the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, so the first month I was just applying everywhere.
Yeah.
Started Chick-fil-A in November, so almost immediately.
Okay,
I was like,
$15 an hour, 30 hours, 40 hours a week, so like over $30,000 a year, which is not great for Austin, but you can still get yourself a place. For even 1,000 would be too high percentage wise, but it would be a place, and you could fit it in your budget if you absolutely had to.
Unfortunately, most of it went towards paying pretty much gas for my car, paying insurance,
was it Chick-fil-A?
Paying off.
Was it Chick-fil-A delivery?
No.
Why were you driving so much? Other than work and not if we can't afford a place to live, then we're not driving places besides work and home.
It's because I was staying out of a van that my friend had let me stay out of. She had renovated it for like van life stuff.
Yeah.
So it had solar, it had all that. But this was over in 4 Points, which I mean, not too far from where I was working, but still good little commute there and back.
The math still isn't mathing in terms of just not being able to afford. Okay. So Chick-fil-A, and then you determined that wasn't enough. So now you've been not Uber Eating, but DoorDashing and handyman and stuff.
Yep.
Have you looked for places?
Yeah. So now that I'm making as much money as I am, like depending on the day, I'm easily bringing in like $200, $300 a day with the TaskRabbit stuff. Of course, that's still not consistently because again, I'm just starting out with that. But now I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to afford this. Only issue is actually tomorrow I have to go take in my car because it's having issues and see if I could stay with a buddy since I won't be able to drive out to Fort Worth.
Where have you been? So you've been living in this van still?
Yeah.
So that's been okay.
Yeah.
Shower accessible?
No, but I do have a gym membership that I go to shower over there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You've been in terms of permanent shelter, unhoused for way too long for your situation, in my opinion. If I took a look at your budget when you were working Chick-fil-A, I could have put rent in there. Something is not mathing correctly. What were you choosing above that? Gas, expensive. Yes, absolutely. Maybe there's debt minimum monthly payments that I just don't know about. In that case, that could be like the answer.
So I've been paying off some debts because I have several debt collectors on me for different small things.
Collectors won't have minimum monthly payments. So
so most of them I'm avoiding until I'm like, okay, this one I'm ready to tackle. Let me start working on that one.
I mean, you tackle shelter before you tackle collections. But things in collections that can be hard to get into a lease. Yeah. Because running a credit check and everything like that. Have you been through October and now? Have you been applying places to stay, to live in?
So I have been going to this place called the Charlie Center. That's a homeless resource center.
Good.
And so the only thing is, I've been trying to work with them with getting several things. Like I've continuously hounded them, like, hey, I need a housing assessment so we can figure out what you guys can help me with, what we can get me into. But they keep saying like, oh, you need your state ID. And I was like, okay, then let's go get that. And so they ended up getting a copy of my birth certificate for me. And they had scheduled an appointment with the DMV or whatever it's called out here. And they were like, okay, this is the address. Meet us there at 2:00. I showed up at 1:30 and never saw them there. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, who am I supposed to be meeting here? And unfortunately, I know it's a very big thing on my end, but whenever I put in effort like that and stuff just keeps getting in the way, it makes it hard for me to reapply that. Like, okay. I know. So
I see what you're saying.
So
we just can't do that though. Yeah. When we're facing, if that was like, there could be many instances. I can't even think of like an other version of that. But there's a lot of instances where I'll be okay, whatever. So fine, someone didn't show up to help you for this, so you're just like whatever on that. But we're talking about shelter, a very basic human need, and in our culture, you need to pay for that. And you had the opportunity to start receiving some help. You didn't take unemployment, of which you paid tax money into. So it's not like you were taking advantage of anything because you were laid off. That is something that you paid into. So you didn't take that. Did you reach out about any Section 8 housing?
No. Again, I was trying to do everything.
Did you know about that?
I'm aware of Section 8 housing. I'm not sure how it works exactly.
Why didn't you at least look into it?
Again, I assumed that was something I'd be able to do through the Charlie Center.
Okay. Are you comfortable with the place you're living now? Do you not feel motivated?
It's not that I don't feel motivated. It's that, so I will level with you. I do struggle with depression, and most days it's hard for me to even get up to go to work.
Yeah. Well, that is, thank you for telling me that, because that is like an incredibly real thing. Now, when it comes to the services in this area, have you sought out any mental health help?
When I first went to the Charlie Center, they did have an organization there that offers those services, and took the effort to go and talk to them, ask about it. And then they're like, okay, yeah, these are the locations you can go to seek that out. But see, that's the thing I struggle with, is the more steps you put in my way, the harder it is for me to mentally put myself to the task. Like, back before when I had health insurance, there are several things I've been wanting to take a look at regarding my physical health. And so I went to sought these services out. And for one, it was like a sleep study, because my sleep quality has always been shit my whole life.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, they're like, okay, here, call these people. I'm like, oh, okay, let me get myself to do that. I called them. They're like, oh, hey, we have the wrong paperwork. You need to go back to your doctor to get this. I'm like, oh my God. And at that point I was just like, okay, I don't care enough.
Yeah. I get that. The barriers, and when it comes, I mean, mental health is everything. We're nothing if not our mind. And I deal with pretty severe anxiety. That's one of my things. I have a panic disorder, so I totally get that. It stands in the way of a lot of things in life. So there is no shame in that. What we need to try to discuss and try to overcome is, making sure that we can get you the help you need, because none of this matters if you don't get the help, because that's going to be the root. That's going to be the foundation that we can set, because we can't deal with any of the financial stuff until we at least try to start addressing the mental stuff. Because you're right, when in your situation, in your mindset, when there are those barriers in the way, it can be very hard to overcome that, and it just becomes like a shut down thing. You just like shut down, right?
Yeah, but so, that's one thing I've always known. My mental health has always been a barrier to. There's so many things I know I need to do. I know I need to lose weight. I used to be an amateur cage fighter. I used to be 145 pounds. Now I'm 215. I've lost 20 pounds, thankfully, since I'm working on it. But
you can still kick my. I promise you that.
But there's still, like, again, when I'm not working, I'm just in my car all day. The gym I'm at is 24/7. I could go there anytime, go work out, go handle the things I need to.
How's your community here? Friends?
Very little.
And that's hard. You did a big move across the country at the age of, I'm sorry, was it 25, 24?
26.
26. Dude, making adult friends in adult life without college and stuff, it is the most pain in the thing. I only got lucky because I pretty much had connections with people of where I'm from to be the friends that I am, the friends that I have. So it's hard building a community in a new place, especially if you're not just like the most extroverted person ever created. So have you considered going back home? Not necessarily living at home, but going back home.
So that was actually about to be my plan. So when I had first left Chick-fil-A to do DoorDash and full-time, like a week in, my car check engine light came on. I'm like, great. What now? When I had it diagnosed at Firestone, they're like, oh yeah, it's this, isn't that. It's going to be $1,500. I'm like, are you kidding me? Luckily, of the few people that I do know out here, I know a buddy of mine who runs his own car business and his own shop. And I was like, let me ask him. And he's like, yeah, I'll take a look. I'll let you know. And he's like, oh yeah, that part is only $100 and just $400 for labor. I got you for $500. So I was like, third of the price. Let's go. So got that up and running. But while I was waiting to see how long that was going to take and all that, I was very much contemplating going back home. And that was going to be my plan until, unfortunately, so how you said going back home but not living back home. My plan was to go live back at home, so that way at least,
which is okay too.
Yeah, so that way I could try and regroup, reassess, refocus, figure out how to if I can get the drone business back up and running. That's amazing money right there. I know now, for one, have a backup drone.
Is that where the demand is, though? Is there demand for that?
I haven't even been taking contracts, and the company is still sending me stuff constantly.
Okay, so it picks back up? Why are you not taking them?
Oh, because my drone... so I didn't... Oh. So after that initial time that I had stopped getting contracts, I started getting them again for like a month and a half, and then my drone malfunctioned, crashed, no savings to get a new one.
Oh, it's not repairable. It's like you have to get a new one?
Repairable, so I don't have money to repair it. Or
what does it cost to repair?
It's going to be about $800, which as soon as I get that, I'm going to send it in and get it fixed. But that's the one thing, like, I haven't even been able to save up $800.
Yeah.
No. So the plan was to go back home, regroup, reassess, and try and work towards that goal of getting the drone business up and running again. So the initial time I spoke with my mom, I was like, hey, how would you feel about me moving back to California? And she's like, yeah, if that's what you need, that's fine. And then like a week later after that initial talk, we were talking, and somehow I had mentioned me planning and figuring out when I'm going to go back to Cali. And she was like, "Oh, wait, what?" And she thought maybe it was just because I was in distress at the time that I said that. And I'm like, "No, And she's like, "Oh, well, you're still you're gonna have to pay rent over here for me to us." And I'm like, I am in a moment of need. Like I'd rather be. So I don't want to leave Austin. I love Austin. It's beautiful here. The reason I moved here was because it met everything on my checklist. California, the few times I've gone back, it's just getting worse out there. And the last time I actually went back was for a vacation, family trip. And my mom ended up inviting my pops along, and just that was not a good time. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to be back in California. But I was like, if that's what it takes for me to get back on my feet, sure.
Do you have friends out there?
A couple. I've always had a very
What will be better for you, here or there? Pretend the finances aren't a thing. What's better for you?
Oh, here, for sure.
Okay. Then we will construct our plan with the preference of staying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard. I have every intent here to try to find some potential solutions and see what we can do, and hopefully I can help in some way. And then you are helping. There are people that are out there that are going to relate to your situation. You have no idea the service that you are providing. So thank you for being here. You're incredibly brave for being here, so thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, is there a place to prepare food in this place? No,
van. It was only like partially renovated.
How can you eat?
Eating out.
I know.
Yeah.
Because we spent way too much eating out for being unhoused right now. So one thing I would start considering, and it's more expensive than cooking from scratch, absolutely. Is there a refrigerator in there?
It's literally just electricity and the friggin' insulation.
Okay. What is this debt right here? It's a platinum card.
So that was pretty much just, I ended up maxing that out at the very end when I had no more savings and was trying to get by. I mean, that was mainly food, and that was mainly just paying for food. When it's been at least a year? No, more than a year now.
And you're making minimum monthly payments on it? I see you made a payment, but was that the minimum?
No, that is closed right now. I haven't paid.
It's in collections.
Yeah.
Can you pull out your phone?
Yeah.
I'm going to have you open or download probably an app called Credit Karma.
Credit Karma?
If you could do that for me. So I'll take a look. Yeah, 525.
And I was at
payment history is 0%.
Yeah, I was at 780 when I moved out here.
So pretty much everything's in collections.
Yep.
It's not showing in collections yet. I assume it. Well, maybe, let me check the other one. Yeah, it's not showing collections right now. But you said you're being hounded by them, right?
For a couple different debts, yeah. So
one was okay. So yeah, they're really only a couple years old. So with how long it'll take to fall off your credit, at some point we might want to attack those. Yeah. Right now, getting you in a situation of having a roof over your head, a permanent roof, that'll be number one.
That's been my main focus, because it's okay, if moving back to California doesn't really seem to be an option for me, then I need a roof over my head so I can focus more on getting my mental health where it needs to be. And I mean, that's why I'm hustling. Anytime I get a job through TaskRabbit, I'm accepting that. I'm good. Last week when I could, I
download Thumbtack as well. Join that. Thumbtack? That's what I've used for a couple handyman things that I couldn't do. So see if you can get extra jobs there.
Okay.
See any, maybe even Angie's List. See about all those things that you can pick up and accept as many jobs as possible.
Yeah.
Definitely do that. What do you get from Amazon? Because you spent $241.31 at Amazon within the last month.
I know
it was a lot of different purchases.
Okay, I remember. So I know $30 was for a dice set for myself specifically because I've been doing a lot more D&D, and I'm trying to start becoming a professional DM. So the a second $30 is actually for a set of 20.
I am down for that in the future. Again, we prioritize roof right now. I'm sorry, we're not spending money on die.
Yeah.
Roof comes before die.
And then what was the rest? I'm trying to remember.
Pull up your Amazon. Let's see. We also spent $327.15 going out to eat. Now, your situation, it's more understandable. Yeah. We can figure out much better ways to go about it. But I'm not as angry as I normally would be. Subscriptions, we have $107.20. Okay. That's something we cannot do at all. So... Then you have public storage, which makes sense in this situation.
Okay, I know what it was. It was my supplements that they help me with my sleep thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you started with $23 in your checking account, ended with $111, and it is just, we're getting Chick-fil-A and Amazon, Chick-fil-A, Domino's, McDonald's, Ncarnate.com, McDonald's, Amazon, Starbucks, McDonald's. Getting some taquitos, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, Applebee's, Patreon, $3. You're donating to your future roof right now. You're not donating to the Patreon. Schlotsky's, Chipotle, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, Little Caesars, Chick-fil-A, Pinballs, which is, we're not doing $20 of pinballs. I'm sorry. Taquitos, and I understand you're probably going in there, getting some water, getting some snacks because you don't have a place to hold food right now. Mm-hmm. And Chevron and Subway, it's a very expensive Subway, $17.36. Chick-fil-A, Taquitos, Emerald Tavern, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Washtopia. Is that a car wash?
It's a laundromat.
Okay, that's very much fair. Chick-fil-A, Esports, Cave, Chick-fil-A, Discord. We're not paying for Discord Nitro right now. I'm sorry, we're just not.
That I just forgot to cancel.
Yeah, there's a lot that we need to cancel. Like on Spotify, we're listening to ads right now. If we can't have a permanent home, we're listening to ads. And Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Taquitos, Hulu, we're canceling. If we can't afford a place to live, we don't have
that
Hulu.
That actually was the free trial I forgot to cancel.
Well, we need to cancel it.
That's the thing
Amazon.
I'm really bad at.
BNEI, recurring charge, probably cancel it. McDonald's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's. What is Tasker?
That's me getting paid. It should be, or it might have been the background check.
That's well. And then Ncarnate again. That it's come up a couple times.
That's a subscription service for the map making stuff I did for the D&D.
Cancel. We just can't do it right now. There's a lot of things that I'm okay with, just not when we're in.
No.
Not when we can't afford to live. It's as simple as you can't afford to live right now. So this is a completely different conversation. In Esports Cafe, and then your savings, we've gone down from $423 to $22. And this is Zellen. ATM withdrawals. Who knows where that goes? Zellen. That kind of stuff. Zell. ATM withdrawal. Zell. And what's this payment loan? Speedy payment loan. I've seen that. There's two of those.
Yeah.
Please don't be a payday loan.
So when I was in very dire straits and there was a ticket that was coming up, A
ticket for what? Speeding?
No, it was for not having valid registration. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what?
So I had to take out a payday loan to get that. And
did you pay it back?
Yeah, now it's paid off.
Oh, good. You paid that off. Good. Very good. Thank you. So what happens a lot of times when people are in a homeless situation, they're just kind of stuck in a spiral where it's like, okay, so we're not making excuses by any means, but I'm going to just talk about your situation. We have a place where you can just so you can sleep with a relative roof over your head. You're staying there for free.
Yeah.
Good. But you can't cook and you can't store food. You could store dry ramen and eat it. You could, there's bread and stuff. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can't excuse everything, but we can't cook food and we can't store things in a refrigerator, freezer. So I get it. There are little issues with that. Okay. When you do that and you spend a lot of money eating out because of that, that makes it harder than to either pay off debt or pay for a security deposit on a place down or pay for a background check. It also makes it harder to get a job. It makes it harder to get an ID because you don't have a permanent address. And without an ID, it's hard to do a lot of things. So trust me, I get it. And then the mental health barrier itself, I'm so sorry you're going through that. And that is terrible.
But despite that, I have no choice but to keep going. That's why I'm picking up as much stuff as I can right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So let's just take a couple like shortcuts that are reasonable and will be good. So what I am going to do, one, I'm going to get you a mini fridge. So you can have a mini fridge in there. Okay. Are you okay with that?
That works, yeah.
Okay. And would you be okay? I'm not super familiar with this. It's more of like a camping thing, but just like a little
camp stove.
Yeah.
I actually did pick one of those up recently. So,
you have one?
Yeah.
You have something to cook on?
Yeah. So I got the propane for it and all that. I just need to, because I only recently got that.
So what we're doing in this situation, we're no longer getting taquitos and going in the gas station. We're no longer going to Chick-fil-A every single day of our lives. We're not doing that anymore. Like even just sandwich meat and bread and stuff like that. And trying to, as much of a balance that as you can.
Yeah.
But we're doing that. We're keeping that in the fridge. We're cooking some things on that. I already forgot what it's called, but whatever it's called. And so we'll figure out the mini fridge situation. We'll get that so that you can pick it up. Yeah. And that'll be good. The mental health situation. I want you to get into something that is more sustainable. What, you do not have insurance currently?
No.
Okay. Look at the healthcare. Whatever it was like the affordable healthcare. When people in your situation, they can have a basically free healthcare. It affects your tax situation, but you're not really bringing in much money. You probably won't get a refund at the end of the year, essentially. So really look into that and see what you can do. But I need you to get into therapy as quick as possible. And I believe in therapy so much that find the right avenue for you. Yeah. I'm going to make you find it, but I will pay for your first 4 sessions. Okay. 4 sessions. Okay. Just so you can get in and get the ball rolling. Okay. So I will do that. And I don't give away things on the show because I think a lot of it isn't going to overcome lots of people's situations and it's going to enable a lot of people. And I don't want people to come on here expect something. Of course. But you're in a situation where I feel like if we just get past a couple barriers, then we'll be good. So I'm happy to give those. So 4 sessions of your initial 4 sessions of therapy, whatever it costs. Look at the affordable healthcare, whatever the website is. I'm blanking on it. I think it's healthcare.gov maybe. So look at that.
Take a look. Yeah.
Look at what potential there is for unemployment at this time. Well, you're not unemployed.
Yeah. At this point now, yeah.
Everyone always asks me what checking account I use and what high yield savings account I use. Recently, I switched over to SoFi. The reason I did it is because their app is very intuitive and it's super easy to use on your computer as well. But even better than that, their high yield savings account is all the way up to 4.4% at the time of recording this clip. That is so hard to beat, and I am taking advantage of that all day. And not only that, but there's additional bonuses that I took advantage of that you can as well. Set up direct deposit, get a $50 bonus, or all the way up to $250. That's free money. That's free money. I took it. You could take it too. So check out my affiliate link in the description below. It's seriously awesome. I use it each and every day for my banking needs. And so with that, what I want you to do by taking advantage of mental health, by now saving money on your food, try to just save up as much money as possible. Don't worry about these things in collections yet. They are not what we're worried about when you don't have a roof over your head. Yeah. The final thing I will do, when you find a place that will accept you, I will cover your security deposit and application fee and background check fee. Okay. Cool?
So what I've mainly been looking at, because again, I know the whole credit situation is going to be rough, is I was looking at Airbnb monthly stays. There's one a couple that I found for about $900 a month. So I'm looking at those as the most likely candidates. Okay. Just that way I can get into something now instead of having constant rejections because of credit and all that.
Then in which case, if there's no security deposit and stuff like that, I'll pay for your first month. So that really should be like, that's not everything. That's not the solution, but I want to get the ball rolling in the right direction. So 4 therapy sessions, a mini fridge to help you now save some money on your only grocery shopping. There's not a single cent spent going out to eat. And then your first month or a security deposit and, background check and application fee, all that stuff. Okay. So that's what I am happy to help you with. Okay. Don't just take advantage and then do nothing. Let this be an opportunity to stay in Austin, build your life here.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course, absolutely. I'm happy to. But what will make me happier than anything is you coming back in 6 months and being in a much better position than you are now. Yeah. Maybe if I covered that first month rent, maybe the money that would have gone to that first month's rent can go to repairing that drone, and you can start, bringing in some income with that. Because that's about the same amount of money, $900. So there's options here, man. Yeah. But I need you to go get help for yourself. Go get help, mental health now. Figure it out. Be in communication with us so that we can help around the process. Anywhere down the road that we can as well. Just let us know how everything is going. But take advantage of the resources that you pay taxes into. Trust me, nobody likes paying taxes. But I, at least, if I'm going to pay as much as I do in taxes, I'm damn sure going to take advantage of the programs that would exist if I were to completely fall on my ass. You've paid taxes throughout like the decade of your earning income. So use the services temporarily, because they're not designed to sustain you. They're designed to get you, back up on your feet so that you can be another productive member of society again. That's what I want you to be. And then live a great life. You're not just that. You're not just a cog in a machine. Yeah. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course. No, I get it.
Okay. So immediately start looking at those resources and looking at those different things.
Yeah. I mean, the next couple of days, all my car's in the shop. That's all I'll have time for. So, yeah. I got plenty of time for that. Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get here?
My car, thankfully, hasn't blown up on me yet. So.
Wow. What's your car?
It's a 2016 Chevy Cruze.
Okay, how many miles?
A little over 62,000 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely make sure you're doing proper maintenance and everything, keeping that in good condition, because the breaking down of a car will...
Yeah.
But what I need you to do, once we start getting on our feet and everything like that, I need you to save up, before you pay off the collections, probably 3 months of an emergency fund, whatever it costs for you to live minimum. Yeah. You're saving up 3 months. You're putting it in a high yield savings and you're never touching it again. You can put it in I use the SoFi high yield savings. You can use that. Never touch it unless it's a true emergency. And then maybe we start negotiating these collections, and I can talk to you about that at that point, because it's a little further down the road. Just to clear off your credit, because I'm not going to wait 7 years, 6 years for some of them, 5 years for some. No, it's like your future is much more important than just waiting that long. But either way, okay, lovely. You start negotiating those, you pay them off. Then you're going to save up a full 6 month emergency fund, so the additional 3 months. And then I want you to follow the 50-30-20 rule. You can adjust it as you need, but minimum 20% is going to investing so that you have a chance to retire. 50% is the maximum that you'll spend on your wants, and whatever's in between. 50% is the maximum that you'll spend on your needs, and whatever's in between can be your wants.
Yeah. I used to be very heavy in stock investments. And more playing options. I did pretty well with that. I did pretty well with that.
I'm not going to give investing advice, but that is...
that was back when I was making money. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's like 85% of the people who trade options lose money, whatever the statistic is, but it's disgusting. Yeah. That's what I think. Do you have any thoughts, any questions?
No, I'm very aware of how badly I need to rework my budget, and that's just the only thing is it's been difficult with having to eat out constantly. But yeah, with the reason I bought the camp stove was specifically so I can try and curb that a bit more.
Good. Yeah. And hopefully this fridge will help when you're not going out to eat at all. If I see something at a gas station, it's because you're getting gas that you need. you are not going to Chick-fil-A anymore. It's not a thing. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm just... Even before this, again, the whole reason for me moving on to DoorDash and TaskRabbit is because I know that's going to be an increase in my income, and I'm hoping that's, even without this, it was the right step in the right direction. With this, hopefully that'll definitely get me there sooner. But, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah. For Joseph, obviously that's an incredibly difficult conversation and situation, and we're going to do what we can to hopefully just get him on his feet so he can live a better future. We don't give out things or give things to people on the show because we don't want people to come on just so that they can get prizes or whatever or extra things, but obviously his situation is a little different, and it's going to be a unique situation where I help him out. His Hammer financial score is obviously a 0 out of 10. It just can't be better than that, but we'll do an update in the future, and we'll see where he stands if he's down to give us an update video. And please root for him in the comment section below. Check out all the resources I've linked in the description below. They are resources that I either use or would use, and I have some paid affiliate links there as well, like the high yield savings account I use and the different investing things like Acorns, where you put in $5 and you get a free $5. It's great. Don't forget to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Thanks. Take the next step towards financial freedom and visit SoFi.com/Caleb, or check out the link at the top of the description below and find out if the rates are competitive for you.